Hello students, myself Muniraju Naidu, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. So today we are going to discuss about Introduction to Computer Networks. So we know this computer networks subject which plays a vital role for any computer science and allied branches students. So nowadays, without computer, the world is nil, and without network in the sense related to the how we need to transmit information from one place to another place, that is one node to another node. So we have a number of prerequisites for this subject, computer networks. So previously, the students should learn some basic concepts related to the computer organization, as well as the data communications, as well as operating systems. So today we are going to see what is computer network and how that is helpful for our real-time applications. So we know the basics are very important for any particular subject. So here we know from the childhood what is meant by computer, right? So we know computer is a machine which performs some task. How it performs some task? So based on the inputs given by the user, that particular system process the inputs and which produces one particular output. So this is the basic definition all of us know from the childhood. Okay. So we know what is meant by network. Now coming to the network. What is meant by network? So network is a collection of various communication devices. In the sense nowadays we can call as a systems or computers. How these computers are communicated to each other. So we know with the help of one communication channel. That particular communication channel may be either wired communication or wireless communication. Right? So see here, a computer is a machine or a device which performs processes, calculations and operations based on the instructions provided by a software or hardware program. So which means that whatever the systems today we are going to see, those systems having the ability to accept data in the form of the input and process that particular input according to our requirements, and then it produce the outputs. See here you are able to see the basic computer. So we know how the various parts, we can call it as the basic parts of a human being, like head, hands, legs. So similarly, the computer is also having some basic components. So with the help of those basic components only, nowadays each and every system can capable of accessing, processing and produce the results. What are those basic components? How those are communicated to each other within the system. Now, with the help of these particular systems, how the users can communicate to each other. That is very important in case of computer network. That is a basic point. See, you know, any particular computer system which is having basically input devices. So nowadays we are using keyboards, mouse and this joysticks, light pens, and for the best example for output devices are monitors as well as the speakers. Then within this particular system unit, there are number of components which are interrelated to each other, right? So there are a hard disk drive, floppy disk drive, and RAM, random access memory, how these components are interconnected to each other. So that is in depth according to our computer knowledge. So network is a collection of computers interconnect with each other. So we know, till now we discussed about the basic, what is meant by computer. Now, what is meant by network? So all of us knows that network is a collection of computers interconnected to each other and which allows communication and collaboration between users. Between these systems are operated by the users, right? So automatically each and every user can communicate to each other with the help of the computers only. How these computers can be communicated to each other, that is here we can call as a network. So that's why I simply say that a network is a set of devices connected by communication links. So those communication links, how those communication links are established, whether those are connection oriented or connectionless, so that is irrespective of the application. But a network is a set of devices connected by a communication links, right? So a network which consists of two or more computers that link to share various resources. So we know these resources may be physical resources or logical resources. So nowadays each and every organization is having various physical resources. But when compared to the systems, those physical resources are very less in number. That depends upon the usage. For example, if you take a simple internet cave, so which consists of 10 systems and only one printer as well as the scanner, one scanner. Because the necessity of that particular resource like printer, scanner is very less when compared to the usage of the computer. So how those systems are communicated to that particular printer? That is network. So what are the various systems we need to incorporate in a particular lab or on particular region? How those systems link to share that particular resource? What is the purpose of sharing? Means in some applications we need to exchange the files. So that particular exchange of data or files in order to improve the performance of the system. So that is a network. So a computers on a network may be linked through cables or telephone links or radio waves. Nowadays you are very familiar about these satellites as well as the infrared light beams. So whatever the computers, we can say that these systems are on any particular network. So how those systems may be linked to each other, either connection oriented manner or connectionless, in the sense how that particular physical communication between those systems, for example through the cables. So nowadays you can see a number of cables in our house also, that is a LAN, local area network cables. In the previous days we are using that BSNL telephone lines, right? Telephone. So there we can use telephone links, radio waves. So nowadays we need to go for connectionless systems. The best example is our mobile devices. How those mobile devices are communicated to each other with the help of satellites. So whatever the devices in a network, those are connected using wide or wireless transmission. That is very important. So how can we say that this particular node is communicated with that particular node? So are you able to see any cable? Then we can say that these two are in a wide communication. So if any application which requires connectionless communication, that is, we can simply call as a wireless data transmission is done between these two nodes. So devices in a network, those are connected using wide or wireless transmission media such as cables or air. So these are the basic things regarding the network. So we know what is computer and what is network. Now, whenever we need to construct any particular computer network, there are some basic rules. You can call it as a basic set of rules for computer network. What are those basic rules? See here, information must be delivered reliably. Information must be delivered reliably. So whenever I need to send some information to my friend, so how should I know whether my data is reached successfully to my friend or not? If there is some mechanism to identify that my data is reached to my friend. So that is very important in case of networks. Information must be delivered reliably. Then information must be delivered consistently. Consistently. That is without any change. See, nowadays you are very much interesting about chatting, right? For example, I need to send some, we can call as an urgent message through WhatsApp to my professor, right? So, hello sir, good morning, where are you? I am waiting at your cabin, something. So, how that particular information, whatever the data I need to send, in the same order that particular data reach to my professor. That is, information must be delivered consistently without any change. Next one, another rule for establishing any particular computer network, that is, multiple computers must be able to identify each other. Multiple computers must be able to identify each other. So, see, as a human beings, we have some names, right? Some X, some Y, Ramu, Sita, something. So, we need to identify each other with our names. But how these systems may be communicated? Let us say a simple example. If you take a simple network, for example, the geofiber network. So we can't say exactly how many nodes are active in that particular point of time. For example, early morning 9 o'clock, how many geo nodes are active in any one particular region? For example, in Telangana region. Okay, so we need to identify some 1 lakh nodes. So for each and every node, there exists some identity. Either we need to identify that particular node with the help of either IP address or MAC address, or we can call it as a just like our SIM, subscriber identity module, something else. So there are number of systems. Those systems must be able to identify each other. Then only for data transmission purpose, it is easy to identify where our data exactly is. Then coming to the benefits of computer network. So what are the various benefits of computer network? So previously learn about only computers, right? So only computers are having number of applications. Now we need to combine both computers as well as the networks. So ultimately there are a number of benefits of computer networks. First one, network can increase efficiency. Networks can increase efficiency, whatever the work, whatever the data transmission. So those applications are increase the efficiency with the help of the network. Then it can help standardized policies, procedures and processes. So there are some policies regarding how we need to establish this particular network, how we need to transmit some data with the help of this particular network. right? What is the capacity of that particular network? How many nodes are established within that particular network based upon the bandwidth? So there are number of policies, number of procedures. Then it ensures information consistency and integrity. Information consistency and integrity. So that is another benefit. And last, it ensures information security. It ensures information security. See, nowadays a number of real-time applications are implemented with the help of this particular information security. So whatever the application, if anyone develop an application, someone asks, so at what level you are producing security to your application? What is the level of security? How we need to provide security to your information? So there is another benefit of computer networks. So in this slide, we discussed what are the basic set of rules for computer networks and what are the various benefits of computer networks. Then what are the uses of network? What are the uses of network? So first one is simultaneous access to data. Second one for personal communications. Simultaneous access to data. How it is possible? Only with the help of the network only. It is possible to access the same information by a number of users. For example, data files, some exe files like softwares, and various hardware resources. Hardware resources. See, there are number of applications which uses the same data for improving their performance. But the data is not available locally. So data is somewhere else. We need to access that particular data. How it is possible? So whatever the server which consists of some particular data, whatever the various nodes which are accessing that particular data, these nodes are communicated through any particular network. File server contains documents which are used by other computers. See, we know there is a client-server relationship, right? So generally what is meant by client and what is meant by server? Server is which node is having some content. Generally we can call it as a server. Client means which seeks some information from that particular node, from the server node. Those nodes are called as a client. So there are number of differences between what is a server and what is a client. But there exists a relationship you can call it as a client-server relationship. Now another use is personal communications. So nowadays we are using a vast number of applications for this personal communications. Example, email and conferencing. So due to these pandemic situations, we learn a lot of things, how we need to communicate through online, right? Either WebEx or Zoom. Then voice over IP. This is another communication. Then last use of a network is easy data backup. Easy data backup. So physically, you want to move from one place to another place. We need to access the information which is required for our application. So that particular data must be stored somewhere else for backup purpose. So these are the basic uses of network. Then what are the applications of networks? Sir, why should I learn this particular subject? What is the necessity of this particular subject? Where I can use this particular subject? See, this is a very, very, very interesting subject, and this is the basic core subject. Basic core subject. Without this particular subject, right, we can't do anything in the real world. As per the student perspective, this is a good enough for your competitive exams like GATE, and each and every IT companies you can call as a technical round. There, everyone must touch this particular subject, at least 5 to 10 questions. So there are number of vacancies based upon these networks. Okay, coming to the point, applications of networks. Resource sharing, information sharing, communication, remote computing, and grid computing. So there are number of applications of networks. So already we discussed about this resource sharing. How? We need to access either physical resource or logical resource. So that particular physical resource, for example, hardware. So we know the basic example, one particular internet cave which consists of 10 systems and one particular printer. How these 10 computers can access a single individual printer? Because this printer, these systems are in any particular network. So hardware, like various resources, disks, printers. Similarly, software, application software. So nowadays we are very much capable of accessing various apps from Play Store. Is it right? Play Store is an area which consists of various apps. Based upon our requirement, we need to access that particular application software. That is also one of the examples for resource sharing. Then information sharing. Easy accessibility from anywhere. Right? So nowadays it is helpful for each and every student, that is information sharing. So wherever the content, for example, if you take any material from various reputed universities, that particular information sharing is easily accessibility from anywhere. Then search capacity, Old Wide Web. With the help of Old Wide Web, the search capacity, that means a vast number of information may be shared to various users. And communication. What type of communication you require? So based upon our usage, right? I need to send an official information, then I need to choose the email, right? So whenever I need to send some personal messages or wishes, something, then we are using the message broadcasting. Similarly, remote computing and distributed processing. So there are a number of applications of networks. Then coming to the next concept, and network topologies. See, what is a topology? Why we need topology, particularly in networks? A logical layout of wires and equipment, which is called as a topology. A logical layout of wires and equipment. That means how that particular nodes are communicated. What is the fashion? How the actual data may be transmitted throughout the nodes. That describes this particular topology. Simply say that the way in which the devices are interconnected to form a network, which is called a network topology. See, nowadays there is a huge network. For example, if you take geo network, right? So there are number of nodes. There are number of nodes within that particular region. How these nodes are communicated to each other, that describes this particular topology. The way in which the devices are interconnected to form a network is called a network topology. Some of the factors which affects the choice of topology for any particular network are first one, cost, scalability, flexibility, reliability, ease of installation and ease of maintenance. See, these are the various factors which affects the choice of topology. So simply say that based upon our requirement, we can go for this particular topology. Is it right? What is the cost? What is the reliability? What is the scalability? What is the flexibility? Ease of installation and ease of maintenance. These are the basic factors which affect the choice for topology of a network. See here, these are the various network topologies, right? See, bus topology, you can call it as a LAN structure, local area network. So we know what is meant by bus. Bus is a device which is capable of communicating more than one device, right? So there are a number of categories of buses. So we know SATA cables, HDMI cables, there are a number of structures. How this particular bus topology will helpful in computer networks? See here, these are the nodes. These are the nodes. How these nodes are communicated? See, this particular node is capable of transmitting the information to any of the three nodes with the help of these particular communication links. That is the basic definition of computer networks. How this particular node is capable of transmitting information to various nodes within that particular network. Here, the topology specifies that a bus topology. So those are communicated, you can call it as a serially. Next one, ring topology. Ring topology. See, there is a slight difference between this particular bus topology and ring topology. So what happens in case of bus topology? For example, if you mention that this is the node 1 and this is the node 6. So node 1 to node 6, there is no direct communication through this particular bus only. So this is the bus. Through this particular bus only, these nodes are communicated. Similarly, in case of ring topology also, see there node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4, node 5, node 6. How these nodes are communicated? See, node 1 to node 2, the data may be transmitted. Node 2 to node 3. According to our requirement, whenever the node 3 is communicates with node 6, see there is no direct communication. There is no direct communication means there is no bus structure, bus topology. Only node 3 either transmitting the data via the node 2 or via the node 4. That is the ring topology. So there are some applications which uses this particular topology, ring topology. Then next one, tree topology. Tree topology. We know tree, that is always there is a, we can call as a parent-child relationship. So this is the root node, these are the child nodes. And for this particular network, this is the root node, these are the child nodes. There is a parent-child relationship in case of tree topology, right? So the data is transmitted to child nodes from the parent node. Then mesh topology, right? So there is, we can call it as a zigzag communication between the various nodes. So actually in real-time applications, this you can see this particular mesh topology, right? So there is a zigzag communication. Each and every node may be communicated. See, from this particular node, how many communication paths are there? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So most probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each and every node may be communicated within this particular mesh topology. So there are a number of applications which uses this particular mesh topology. Then a star topology. Star topology. So that is depends upon our requirement. We can use either bus, ring, tree, mesh, star topology. Then you observe here hybrid topology. Hybrid topology. That means a combination of two networks, two topologies. See here, this is one particular mesh topology which is communicated with another ring topology. That is a hybrid topology. So there are number of network topologies based upon our requirement. We can go for this various topologies. See, in depth, what is meant by bus topology? How it will helpful for any particular application. See, this is our basic bus. These are the various nodes as per our example, node 1 to node 5. So, this particular bus topology, which is also called as a linear bus like this. So, that is one cable which connects all the nodes. This is the cable. See here, this is the cable, black shaded line, which connects all the nodes, node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4, node 5. Sir, what is the advantage of this particular topology? So, first of all, easy to set up. The setup cost is very less, in the sense which requires very less hardware, and automatically which is cheaper when compared to the remaining topologies. Right, these are the various advantages of bus topology. Then, what are the drawbacks? What are the disadvantages? The bus topology is slow when compared to the remaining topologies. Why, sir? Because here, whatever the data I need to transmit from node 1 to node 4. For example, this is the destination. Right? So, the node 1 is the source. Where is the path? Only through this particular bus cable only. But what happens? At the same time, some other node is ready to transmit or receive information from some other node with the help of this particular bus. So automatically, there is a data traffic. One by one. The bus which is capable of transmitting the data in a serial fashion. So automatically, which is slow when compared to the remaining topologies and easy to crash. That is another drawback. Easy to crash. So, a simple example. If you take any simple LAN connection, right? One node which communicates to more than 10 nodes, right? What happens if the particular node is disconnected? Then automatically remaining nodes doesn't have any particular communication. So that is, if one system affected, then the remaining systems cannot communicate with each other. That is the basic drawback of bus topology. Then coming to the next one, star topology. So we know this particular star topology is a topology for local area network in which the server is connected to each and every node individually. Here, the server node which is called as the central node, because just like the central node acts as a server node, right? So what happens whenever I need to communicate with my friend, right? So myself and my friend, these two are normal nodes. Whatever the exchange of information between myself and my friend, right? So these two nodes must communicate with one particular server node. Is it right? So that means any exchange of data between two nodes must take place through the server. Right? So that is the star topology. See here, this is the star topology. See, this is the server. These are all the various nodes. Right? So this is myself and this is my friend. How these two nodes are communicated? Only with the help of this particular server node. What are the advantages of this particular star topology when compared to the bus topology? Failure of one node doesn't affect the network. Failure of one node doesn't affect the network because all the nodes are maintained by one particular server node. So what happens if any node is damaged or failure, right? So whatever the data exchange between the various nodes, that particular work may not be disturbed. Hence, the troubleshooting is also easy because we need to identify the faulty node and we need to rectify that particular problem immediately. Because here the server maintains all the information regarding the clients, which node is inactive, which node is active, right? So troubleshooting is easy as faulty node can be detected from the central node immediately. That particular central node here we can call as a server node. Good. Coming to the next one, ring topology. See, we know ring, any circle. In ring topology, whatever the nodes or terminals, those are connected to exactly two nodes. See, 1, 2. According to this node, this is the one node, this is the another node. According to this node, this is the one node and this is the another node. So each and every terminal is connected to exactly two nodes, giving the network as a circular shape. See, this is the circular shape in network. But when compared to the previous topologies, here the data travels only in one predetermined direction. What does that mean? Predetermined direction. Here we need to mention the data path before actual data transmission takes place. Right? So, for example, this is my source node, this is my destination node. So, I need to fix the direction in which my data is transmitted to the destination node. See, from the source node to this is the destination. Either one way is I need to transmit like this. That means I need to traverse all the nodes in between two nodes. For example, I can choose this particular path, then I need to traverse only one node. So, when compared to the previous topologies, the ring topology is having one predetermined direction for data transmitting. What are the advantages of ring topology? This is very high transmission speed is possible in case of ring topology. Because the small cable segments are needed to connect two nodes. Small cable segments are required to connect two nodes because those are at least near when compared to the remaining topologies. But there is a drawback here. Failure of single node brings down the whole network because these are all communicated through a single cable. So, whenever one particular node is faulty, then what happens? The ring structure is collapsed. So, the failure of single node brings down the whole network. That's about the ring topology. See here, this is the best example for ring topology. These are the various nodes, computer 1, 2, 3, 4. So, here the troubleshooting is difficult as many nodes may have to be inspected before faulty one is identified. Because whatever the nodes which takes place for data communication, right? So, in this example, we have 4 nodes. So, whenever one particular node is faulty, that is not working, then how can we identify which one is acts as a faulty node? That is very difficult because many nodes have to be inspected before the faulty one because this is a ring structure. So, we can't directly go and catch that particular faulty node. So, difficult to remove one or more nodes while keeping the rest of the network intact. See, for example, this is the flow of message from this node 1 to node 2, node 3, node 4. Again, node 4 to node 1. This is the flow of message. But there are some applications which uses this particular ring topology. Then coming to the tree topology. Tree topology. So, we know what is meant by tree. A root node and there are number of child nodes and leaf nodes. Tree topology has a group of star networks connected to a linear bus backbone cable. There are important terminologies here. Tree topology has a group of star networks. Group of star networks connected to a linear bus backbone cable. That is very important. A linear bus which acts as a backbone cable. That means tree topology incorporates both the features of star and bus topologies. See, we know group of star networks in the sense this maintains one particular star network, star topology, and how the data, actual data is communicated between these nodes which represents the bus topology. So that's why the tree topology is also called as a hierarchical topology. Hierarchical topology. So one node and child node, another node, the child node. So what are the advantages of tree topology when compared to the remaining topologies? Here, first one is existing network can be easily expanded. Existing network can be easily expanded. Let us say a simple example, right? So I need to add one particular network in my region. For example, I need to take one internet connection. So at the time of installation, I am having only one mobile, one laptop and one desktop. So that is my network. So with the help of that particular connection, for example, if I take the Geo fiber net, so I need to establish a network with these three devices: my desktop, my laptop and my mobile. After some days, this particular network may be increased, right? At the time of executing or any purpose, I am going for add number of laptops, number of mobiles. What happens? These nodes or devices are again comes into my home network. So whatever the existing network, that particular network can be easily expanded. Then easier installation and maintenance. That is very important nowadays, installation as well as the maintenance. Then well suited for temporary networks. Temporary networks, which means that so to perform this particular action, we need these are the resources. So at that time, we need to establish a temporary network. With the help of that particular temporary network, we are capable of executing number of applications. After completion of our task, just again we need to destroy that particular network. That is the advantage, another advantage of tree topology. See, this is the tree topology. Example for tree topology. How the various nodes are communicated. Right? See, this is the bus cable. Right? How the various nodes are communicated. See, whatever the nodes which are executing in this particular network, so those nodes are communicating through this bus with the nodes which are available in some other network. That is a tree topology, right? Which is a combination of both bus as well as the star topologies, right? Then what are the drawbacks? Right. So whenever we need to communicate with the help of both bus as well as the star topologies, so whatever the backbone we are having, for example, that particular backbone is faulty. If anything happens to that particular backbone cable, then there is no network. Wherever the nodes are available, those nodes are available only. There is no data communication between that particular nodes because the backbone is a failure. Another one is insecure network. There is no security because I don't know, in some other bus topology, how many nodes are there? Whether those nodes are authenticated nodes or not authenticated nodes, I don't know. Because this is a topology which executes the various applications with the help of the various nodes which are communicated in the both bus as well as the star topology. So that's why we can call as a insecure network. Then another drawback, maintenance difficult for large networks. So what happens whenever we need to add number of nodes, automatically my network size is increased. Automatically maintenance which is difficult for large networks. See in this example we have number of segments. See segment 1 which communicates one particular node, and segment 2 which communicates to various nodes, segment 3 which acts as a backbone to segment 1 and 2 as well as the segment 4. Right? So what happens here, this looks like a tree structure, but there are some drawbacks, because whatever the nodes which are ready to communicate, those nodes doesn't have any information regarding the remaining nodes which are available in that particular network. Then mesh topology. Mesh topology. So we know what is meant by mesh. Mesh like structured. Right? So each and every node which communicates to the remaining nodes. That is a mesh generally. So this mesh type of topology which is communicates to more than one node. Is it right? So in this type of topology, a host is connected to one or multiple hosts. Whether you are capable of transmitting or receiving the information from that particular host or not. But this particular topology specifies that we need to connect to some other host. So this topology has host in point-to-point connection. That is very important in case of networks. Point-to-point connection with every other host. See, for example, if you take this is the node 1, which communicates to this node 2, node 3, node 4 and node 5, which communicates to node 2 as well as the node 5. So there is a point-to-point communication between every other host. So for every new host, there is n into n minus 1 by 2 connections are required in mesh topology. So what happens when compared to the remaining topologies, this mesh topology which provides a most reliable network structure among all other network topologies. What does that mean? Reliable network structure. There is a reliability, which means that whenever the node 1 transmits some information in the form of packets to the node 2, then automatically the node 2 is ready to send acknowledgement for that particular packets. See, there is a communication between node 2 to node 1. So then the node 1 assumes that, okay, my data is successfully transmitted to node 2. There is a reliability. So it means the mesh topology which provides most reliable network structure when compared to the all other network topologies. Then hybrid topology. Hybrid topology. So we know hybrid, which is a combination of more than two topologies. Right? So nowadays this particular structure we can call it a hybrid topologies are regularly are able to see in our labs also. Right? So one particular switch is capable of giving services to various PCs. Right? So there is a communication between switch to switch. This is one switch, this is second switch. There is a communication between switch to switch. And there is a router also. right? How the various components which are communicated to each other without any data loss. Just assume that without any data loss. So this is possible only with the help of the hybrid topology, because this particular network is having one different structure. This particular network is having another structure. See, this is the ring topology. Is it right? So this is the looks like a second network which looks like a tree topology. So this is how we are able to transmit information from one device to the various devices which are same or in different network, only with the help of the hybrid topology. See, these are the types of networks. According to our requirements, we can choose any one of the network, right? So what are the basic types of networks? LAN, local area network, MAN, and WAN, wide area network. So it depends upon our requirement, we can choose any one type. So LAN, local area network. So whenever I need to communicate with my neighboring nodes which are placed nearby room or within the same room, then I need to choose this particular local area network. A local area network is a computer network which connects computers within a limited area, such as our best example, our house, or a school, or a laboratory, or university campus, or within the office premises. So LAN is a computer network which interconnects computers within a limited area, such as a residence, school, laboratory, university campus, or office building. Then MAN, metropolitan area networks. How these LAN structures, various LAN structures are interconnected to each other, that is the help of the metropolitan area network. Metropolitan area network. Metropolitan area network is a class of network which serves a large geographical area between 5 to 50 kilometers. 5 to 15 kilometers. Right. So in the next coming classes, we are going to discuss in depth about this, how we are going to transmit the information to various nodes which are differentiated at various geographical areas. Metropolitan area networks. So simply say that LAN is whenever we wish to communicate within the building or within the office, within the house, then you can go for the LAN, local area network. Then whenever I need to communicate within the range of 50 kilometers, then I can choose the metropolitan area network. Then third category, WAN, wide area network. So nowadays we are using this WAN for various applications, wide area network. Right? Wide area network is a computer network that covers a large geographical area. That means within the India, I need to communicate, or within the US, or within the Asia continent, or nowadays even whole world may be communicated with the help of the internet nowadays. That is wide area network. So this particular wide area network, which includes the technologies to transmit data, that means so whatever the information according to our requirement, you are going to use information, right? Whether that particular information may be in the text file or audio file or video file or exe file, whatever the information. This particular WAN, which includes the technologies to transmit data, image, audio and video information over long distances and among different local area networks and metropolitan area networks. Right? So these are the basic points regarding the introduction to computers, introduction to computer networks. So today we discussed about what is meant by computer, what is meant by network, what is meant by computer network, what are the benefits of computer network, what are the advantages of computer network, and topologies. What is meant by topology? What are the various categories of topologies? So each and every topology, what is the functionality of that particular topology, where you can use that particular topology, right? Then categories of networks, types of networks, LAN, WAN, MAN, right? So this is about introduction to computers. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.